Hello everyone, my name is Trevor. I go by TheMrTrails. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we have patch 1.9.0, the start of the new Dawn season. This patch will include a new hunt pass, a new bounty system, some major island event changes, and some extremely good news for Chainblades. Consider dropping a like for me and subscribing to the channel if you have not already. And I'll be on Twitch tomorrow. As soon as this update drops, be sure to stop by for your chance to win a new hunt pass. I am going to be doing a charity reforge over on Twitch this Saturday. For every 200 bits or $2, not only will I be giving most of that money to charity, but I will also drop everything that I'm doing and just take damage from whatever behemoth I'm fighting. And for every sub, I will drop everything and take 2 hits of damage from what I'm fighting. I will not be using bounty tokens for this, and the only form of healing that I will be allowed to use is my health potion. This means no lifesteal, no Assassin's Vigor, no Vampiric, nothing like that, and I will also be banning shields from the run. And if I go down once, I will fail the hunt, and we'll have to re-queue. And on top of that, we will have long-term goals, which if we meet, I will have to add something else detrimental into the run. And hey, if you have that Twitch Prime sub laying around, you will be able to use that to participate in this for free. Curious to see how much we can raise and how long this will take me to do. Saturday, January 22nd, hope to see you guys there. So let's begin with the new bounty system. What hasn't changed is that you can draft 4 bounties at a time, and a given bounty token will give you a chance at a bronze, silver, or gold bounty. But there are changes to the system. Number 1, premium bounty tokens and standard bounty tokens no longer exist and are simply one combined bounty token. These bounty tokens are basically the premium bounty tokens, so they won't expire at the end of a season. Number 2, the experience and merit payouts from the tokens have been changed. Bronze bounties will give 250 experience, silver bounties will give 450 experience, and gold bounties will give 700 experience. So the bronze and silver bounties are buffed, but the gold bounties have been nerfed by 30%. However, due to the frequency that you are going to be drafting bronze and silver bounties, this actually does increase the experience value of your bounty tokens overall. And you can appreciate that if you draft a bad set of gold bounties, that it won't be as big of a waste if you want to get rid of it. As for the merits, you will now get 15, 25, and 40 merits on bounties instead of 10, 15, 25, getting a significant buff there. Number 3, the tasks for bounties are the same, but the numbers for them are a bit different. These are buffs in some cases. The silver stagger damage bounty, for example, is now 60k instead of 100k stagger damage, but they are nerfs in other cases. For example, the gold bounty that has slay 10 behemoths of 2 different elements getting increased to 16. And this was already a bad bounty to begin with, but now it's just pretty much unusable. And number 4, perhaps being the most impactful, is that you can now upgrade your bounties. While drafting a bounty, if you draft a bronze bounty, then you can spend an additional bounty token to upgrade it to a silver bounty. And if you draft a silver, you can upgrade it to a gold. When you do the upgrade, the bounties that you see available should be directly upgraded to their improved forms. So a wound damage bounty should remain a wound damage bounty, and a staggered damage bounty should remain a staggered damage bounty. And you can only do 1 upgrade per draft, so bronze bounties can't just immediately become gold bounties. If you are looking to maximize the experience value of your bounty tokens, then you basically don't want to upgrade them. A token spent on upgrading your bounty will either have a value of 200 experience or 250 experience, whereas a token spent on just drafting a bounty normally will have a minimum value of 250, with a chance of being silver or gold. But if you have a ton of bounty tokens saved up like I do, and you want to upgrade your bounties to power through certain reforges faster, then you might find upgrading worth it. And maybe if I upgrade enough times, you guys will finally stop asking me why I have so many bounty tokens. Overall, the system is a positive change, but I would say my main issue is that you can still have certain gold bounties that you would rather have a bronze or silver bounty over instead. But next up, Chainblades. Chainblades are getting a few additional tweaks over the next couple of patches, the first of which being a much better heavy combo animation. It is way smoother in comparison to the previous heavy combo, it's not even close. The animation overall is a bit faster, giving it a small DPS increase, as well as it just being at least 400% prettier to look at. And the animation does scale with attack speed properly, being right on the nose for how much more efficient the combo gets. This alone makes the Wounding Chainblades playstyle way more playable and perhaps even meta on the weapon, as it should be. There is a bug with it. It's not perfect just yet. It seems like there's a chance for you to just skip your first heavy attack animation at random. But thank you, Phoenix Labs, for listening on this. I know I didn't give the original heavy attack feedback in the nicest manner, but it was important, and you guys did do an amazing job this time around, so thank you. Next up, we have Island Event Rebalancing. This is going to be the first round of event changes. There are going to be more coming in 1.9.1 as well. These first couple of changes are for all of the island events. The waiting time in between rounds is being reduced to 2 seconds, and the loot box will be on the ground for 25 seconds afterward instead of 15. Both great changes. I wish in private hunts the events would take less time to start as well, but progress, I guess. But then we have 6 individual events being modified. The Shatterstorm event from Iron Falls previously had behemoths scaled by 3 times their normal health values, which you can imagine as a new player that must have sucked. So that's been reduced, as well as the Shatterstorm crystals getting a duration buff and can now appear on the island randomly, even outside of the event. The Firewatch event on Brightwood will now only spawn Blaze behemoths, as well as no longer having the Firewalls modifier. It will instead have the Blaze danger zones and splitting lava modifiers. And both the Shatterstorm and Firewatch events will only give solo behemoth encounters, rather than having a duo for the second round. It does make sense for them to cut back in the early game on how many double behemoth encounters that you have, as you're still trying to get the hang of fighting just one. The Lightning Warfare event on Thunderwatch has received an additional round to it for more rewards, and has had some modifiers of the earlier stages removed. There will also be a more consistent and more appropriate spawn pool of behemoths between round 1 and round 2, as you could previously get lesser behemoths in there. The Slice and Dice event on Fortune's Folly now limits its spawn pool and has new Styxian spawning rules. Praise be. Stage 2 of this event is now a single behemoth encounter, and both the Slice and Dice event and the Lightning Warfare event from Thunderwatch now have regularly tuned behemoths, rather than having some type of buff or debuff. The Cold Snap event on Frostmarch will now also have a more fixed spawn pool, as well as more controlled fauna spawns. And the Strike event on Ulrich's Peak will now feature Shrikes without modifiers. And the final round of this event will now be similar to round 1 of the Phalanx event on the Blazeworks. 3 other major things that aren't island event related are changed as well. The Chronivore is now level 22 instead of level 23. The Tough Hide modifier now has a lower damage penalty for not wounding parts, while having a slightly smaller benefit for wounding parts. And group trials are now going to have 75% health scaling per additional player, being increased from 59%. So this should lead to a few seconds being tacked onto the group trials. And there are whispers of another large-scale trials rework coming sometime this year. But it's time for fashion, with the Lawless Skies Hunt Pass and Reward Cache. As always, if you are thinking of making any premium purchases for this new Hunt Pass, consider using my supporter creator code TheMrTrails. Make sure the A is before the I. A couple of things to note. Starting in 1.9.0, whenever you purchase a Hunt Pass, it will now never expire. And you can switch to that Hunt Pass or any other active Hunt Pass whenever you'd like. And instead of doing additional versions of the Hunt Pass's helmet and chest plate, in this Hunt Pass we'll be getting 2 additional weapon skins. Starting our Hunt Pass off at level 1, we have the Treasure Trove emote. At level 5, we have the Black Sawfish sword skin. At level 10, the Staked Claim banner emote. At level 20, the Outlaw Flare. At level 25, the Black Pariah's chain blades. At level 35, the Marauder's Lantern. At level 30 and level 40, the Outlaw Banner Fabric and Banner Sigil. And at level 50, we have the Marauder Armor set, including the Marauder's Mask, Coat, Boots, and Gloves. There's a wispy VFX on the hood and coat, the color of which will change with the second dye region. And then we have the Reward Cache, which will be using the Shady Coin as its currency this season. For the armor, we have the Treasure Hunter's set, being the Treasure Hunter's boots, hat, cloak, and gloves. Then for the weapons, we have the Treasured Spear, the Treasured Gauntlets, the Treasured Sword, the Treasured Blasters, the Treasured Hammer, the Treasured Blades, and the Treasured Axe. And there isn't a style section for a dye or glider this time, not sure if that's intentional or not. And then we have some new items in the Platinum Store, one of these being the Treasure Hunter glider, and the other being the Lucky Armor bundle, coming with the Lucky Armor set. And the other main things in the store are behemoth-related versions of the Reward Cache items. My favorite of them here probably being the Drask Repeaters. But in other news, Frostwolf tails were hard to cut off, mostly because the hitbox for the tail was the regular Embermane's tail hitbox, and not a bigger tail hitbox to reflect the actual bigger tail. So it now has its own collision, and the tail health has been reduced. The middleman will now let us salvage 5 cells at a time. phenomenal. The chat box will now display when someone interrupts a behemoth, letting you know who actually did interrupt it. The Karabakh bee noises apocalypse has been fixed to not play forever, and there is now a shield cap on Cascade and Guardian, being 600 shields max. I will show you why they did this later in the week, but that is going to do it for this video. I'm eager to play with chain blades, so look for that in a video tomorrow showing off how the wound playstyle performs now. But once again, consider dropping that like for me and subscribing to the channel if you have not already. If you want to go the extra mile to support me, you can support me with a channel membership here on YouTube for 99 cents, or again, with my supporter creator code, TheMrTrails. Make sure the A is before the I. But I have been Trevor, I go by the Mr. Trails, and I will catch you guys next time.